welcome back to Oldham Vaults. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Bridgewater Hotel, which is just located just on Manchester Road, at the corner of Chapel Road and Manchester Road. The whole Bridgewater is now sadly closed, so we're going to look at its history, find out why it's all here and how it all started. So, reason why we're not anywhere near the Bridgewater Hotel, as you can see, we're on Carrington Street. And you're thinking, why you're on Carrington Street when you're in the Bridgewater Hotel? Well, let me tell you. We're on Carrington Street because this is where the Bridgewater Hotel started its journey, from just behind us there, through that car park. That was Carrington Street, just there. And Carrington Street is named after Joe Carrington, a local wharfinger or wharf manager of a wharf which was down there, Hollingwood Top Wharf. And the Bridgewater dates from 1836, when Joe Carrington is listed in the local dictionaries as a wharfinger, what was not now like old name for a wharf manager back in the day. Bob Ashton Canal Company, which was also known as the Hollingwood Canal Company at Hollingwood. After 18 or more years with the company, Joel must have fancied a change. And I stand corrected, it's 1854 when our Bridgewater started movement. So in 1854 he applied for a publican licence for a large house on Manchester Road. So Joe Carrington built a house just on the corner, just behind me here. This is not the original building which Joe Carrington was the first licensee of. The building was demolished because the road widened. Here, the road was widened in the rather late 1990s. And the house was part of a collection of buildings on the corner of Chapel Road, which was where the church is in the background there. At the northern end of the reservoir, which fed the Hollingwood Canal, and it was a big reservoir which is now Chapel Road Fields. The licence was granted, and Joel called the pub Bridgewater Hotel because obviously the Duke of Bridgewater had a connection with canals, and obviously this area had a connection with canals. Joel was also in business as a lime merchant, and he stayed at the pub until 1862. Pardon me, windy pops. He appears to have crossed the magistrates only once, and in 1859, when they were told that he was hiring out boats on the reservoir on a Sunday, no doubt he was shocked by the vicar of St Margaret's, that church just there, that's St Margaret's of Anoch, and that was the first church of Chadderton, believe it or not. That was the first church of Chadderton. Whose church, St Margaret's, overlooked the reservoir just behind us there. I'm going to show you later. And Hollywood Reservoir were the only reservoir to have. That incident wasn't the only incident to happen on the reservoir. Before, there was 14 baptisms which happened in the reservoir on this location right here. Then Joseph Cheetham came from the railway and commercial on Railway Road up in Wearmouth Station, to take over at the Bridgewater in 1862. 2 years later, Garibaldi Lodge of the Grand Union United Order of Oddfellows was founded at the pub. Dave T. Jones was both owner and licensee from at least 1879 until 1890, when he sold out to Joseph Taylor of the Eagle Brewery, Greenhays, Manchester. So this was possibly the first time this pub came into a brewery ownership. The Bridgewater changed hands again in 1922 when the brewer Joseph Holt, which this pub was until its closure. So that's the brewery what kept it. From Taylor's, one of their first tenants was Frank Wollstonecraft, who was elected chairman of the local licensed veterinary associations in 1925. In the late 1960s, new roads were being planned, and it was decided that some road widening was needed in Hollingwood. The corporation issued a compulsory purchase order in ambition and in anticipation of a rush job in 1992, which can't be quite correct, because I'll show you, put something in a minute. I've seen a date stone up there which predates this date I've just mentioned. Nearly a quarter of a century later, quite a number of corporation plans have been completed, except for the road widening. So I don't know how true that is, so I'll put that sign in. On 5th of September 1991, Holt's opened a new Bridgewater on the edge of the former canal reservoir, long since drained. The old pub was closed and demolished in the same month. And that will explain why in that date stone I've just shown you dates to 1991. So what's the future for this site? Hey? So what's the future for this site? So this building behind us, the Bridgewater, it's big. I will try and flip it around so you can see the Bridgewater side just there. This building is going to be demolished, don't know when, and it's going to be redeveloped as another McDonald's, as it's been purchased by the McDonald's group. But we already got a McDonald's down in Failsworth, a McDonald's on Broadway, two on Broadway, one at Chadderton near Gorse Mill, and one at Elk Mill, and one in the town centre. So why we need another McDonald's in here, I don't know. But that's the plan for this site here, Bridgewater. So that's everything. So it closed in 2020. I'll put the official date on when I get home. But it closed 2020 after. I'm just doing that again. So it's 1854 to 2020. It's before its closure. It's food. It was a carvery style. It was a family carvery style restaurant which was built back in the day, which were proper in the 90s. It was big and open inside. We can't go inside because it's boarded up, but I'll go. You've probably seen it all anyways. So yeah, that's it.